So, this is a random thought that is coming to mind when I think about the current paradigm that we're in. And I would just say that comfort is the new addiction. When I look back over my life, I've noticed something quite interesting. The chapters that I remember the most fondly weren't the easy ones. Literally every time, they were the difficult ones. Those periods where I was completely locked in and focused. The seasons where I had structure, some type of routine, discipline, and like a mission that was guiding my behavior. Those moments were not moments where I was the happiest in that particular time. I wasn't constantly seeking pleasure or relaxing all day. But when I look back at those moments, they were the times that made me into someone better. I've realized that fulfillment and comfort are really not the same thing. Comfort maybe feels good in the moment when you're enjoying it. But fulfillment feels good when you look back. So that's something that I'm noticing for myself, and I'm in a period right now where I feel like I've grinded very hard to reach certain levels, and this is across all of the levels of human endeavor. Like when I think about my finances or my health, my mindset, my consciousness, I realized that every single step up for me to reach a new level required discipline, focus, and what doesn't really feel good in the moment. When you think about building a better body, it sometimes is nerve-wracking to have to wake up, go to the gym, and work up a sweat. Then you have to come home, you need to change your clothes, shower, change. Like all of this could just be forgotten and I could just sleep in. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like comfort is the new addiction. And if I was to fall victim to that comfort, then it would literally be a time period that would increase where I'm not going to the gym. So I'm not going to get the results of someone who stays locked in and focused, but I will enjoy those hours where I get to sleep in every morning. But if you guys remember, that saying that I listed in one of my other videos was that front end pleasure equals back end pain, and front end pain equals back end pleasure. So the aim of this the aim of me opening up this dialogue and freestyling off the top what's going through my head is just to give everyone a subtle reminder, including myself, that one tends to gain traction by leaning in towards the things that are tough, difficult, painful, uncomfortable. Every major chapter of my life followed that pattern. Joining the army, for example. Learning a completely new profession that I'm now proficient in. Moving to Germany. Starting over in an unfamiliar environment. Learning another language. Building a new career or path for myself to make money. Working towards certifications even though I'm already proficient and set in my career. Starting a business. Each one of those moments came packaged with not only uncertainty, but a large number of challenges. But challenge forces adaptation. Adaptation then creates growth. Growth then creates confidence. And confidence begins to change the trajectory of your life. The version of yourself that exists today wasn't created by comfort. It was created because life demanded more from you. And I can say this as I'm talking to you guys, it's also speaking to me, because I would not be, for example, living in Cologne, Germany, having a solid profession, a very ideal setup if you think about how I can literally catch the train and be one stop away from my workplace. It only takes me maybe 6 minutes to make it from the outside of my door to the door that I walk into my office. And if I walk, it's maybe 10 minutes, right? But none of this would have came or been possible if I didn't take certain steps to be in a position to land here. So I think this is also why waking up early has become very valuable to me, like in terms of going towards challenge or leaning in towards the things that are difficult, because I tend to be a person who could stay up late, then of course I'll wake up late, but being intentional about getting enough sleep and waking up early has done wonders. So it's like when everyone else is resting, I'm already moving, I'm already exercising. So I'm investing in myself in those early mornings. The world is slowly waking up, but I've already earned a victory by just simply making my bed and hitting the gym. So it changes the whole entire psychology of the day. And it's like, instead of reacting to life, I'm leading it. One disciplined decision early in the morning tends to create another and another and another, and it's literally like you're embodying carpe diem, and you're leaning in towards difficulty in that way, because we all know how it is, especially when it's maybe rainy or cold outside. Maybe you didn't sleep the best. We all know how tough it is to hear that alarm and actually stand up, get ready, and get out of the door. But keep in mind that the discipline builds momentum, and that momentum is real. And it's easier to stay disciplined once you've proven to yourself that you're capable of doing so. But we're living in a time where discipline has, in my opinion, become harder than ever. And it's not because people are weaker, it's more because technology has become unbelievably strong. And it's managed to slip itself into every aspect of your normal life. So your phone isn't simply there to contact people anymore. It's even past the point of just entertaining you. Your phone is literally studying you. It pays attention to every video you watch, every post that you maybe pause and comment on, every comment that you stop to read. Every second of attention that you give your phone, it's teaching the algorithm exactly how to keep you there longer for the next time, right? So one day you might find yourself falling in the rabbit hole of looking at short clips for 45 minutes. You log off, but the algorithm remembers what videos you stayed longer watching. What was the video that made you stop and rewatch it 4 to 5 times? Now when you come online again to do the same activity, that 45 minutes might become 53, because you're getting a tailor-made feed of information that has improved since the last time you wasted 45 minutes looking at clips. So the next time, maybe that 53 minutes becomes an hour, then the hour becomes 2, and without anyone making a conscious effort to catch what's happening here, it's easy to see how one could be so distracted that so much time is being lost, and it really reinforces the fact that comfort is the new addiction. So before long, your attention has become someone else's business model, and companies win whenever you stay. You lose when you forget why you opened the app in the first place. And I noticed this happening with myself too, even while trying to be disciplined, right? Even while being a person who's made a YouTube channel that's been here for the last 5 years, talking always about improvement, philosophy, reading books, and all these things that I speak, I'm also being affected. So I can only imagine how it is for someone who's unaware. I mean, this tells me that it's difficult even for someone who's actively resisting the things that are coming. So imagine how powerful it is for someone who's not paying attention in this way. The same principle applies to anything that constantly overstimulates your brain. The typical vices like alcohol, marijuana, endless scrolling, pornography, constant entertainment, maybe popping pills, gambling. You guys get the drift. Anything that repeatedly spikes dopamine without requiring effort. Eventually, your brain recalibrates, and the ordinary moments of life start to feel boring, dry, drab, dull, right? That's why when you're out in public and you look around, like, people are often staring at their phones like zombies. And if they don't have their phone, there's like a look of apathy or just general malaise that you could peep from the vibe that they give off, right? But think, when we were all children, we didn't need artificial stimulation to experience high levels of joy. Everything was interesting. Everything was exciting. We felt genuinely curious, and we could become completely absorbed in a simple moment. But as adults, we lose that ability. And it's not because life has become less beautiful. It's because we've trained ourselves through technology to constantly chase the next stimulation or dopamine hit. And I think the future is going to separate people into two groups. I highlighted this a little bit when I talked about future predictions. But I think one group will become increasingly controlled by convenience, i.e., comfort being addictive. These people will be controlled by algorithms, instant gratification, constant entertainment. The other group will intentionally move in the opposite direction, and this will make them noteworthy, especially as time goes on. The second group will protect their attention. They will value boredom and time away from screens. They'll probably spend more time in solitude. They will embrace discomfort rather. Wake up earlier. Develop productive habits like reading, exercising, learning new skills. These will be the ones who innovate in this time and create businesses, invest in their relationships, invest in themselves. And they'll be able to do this not because it's easy, but because the second group understands that everything meaningful usually exists on the other side of resistance. All things that are really worth something in life involve some type of uphill climb in order to reach it. So if there's one lesson that my own life continues to teach me, it's this. The comfort zone is attractive because it asks nothing from you. It doesn't demand excellence. It doesn't require you to step up to the plate. Growth is attractive, though, because it eventually gives you everything that the comfort zone never could, because it demands those things I just talked about, which the comfort zone doesn't ask of you. A stronger mind, a stronger body, a sharper mind, more confidence, greater opportunities in your life, a deeper appreciation for your life and everything that's in it. It's like the easy road feels good today, but the difficult road feels good for years after you get over the difficulty. So choose carefully, because eventually your daily choices become who you are. And who you are determines how your life plays out.